So, I think it goes without saying that we've both watched Gay Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Gay Olympics are just gay sports. We watched the race.
I mean, Drag Race is kind of like the Olympics of drag, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the reunited episode, 1, was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
2. It was better than having them sit in a room fighting each other.
Throwing shade, I know.
Or like sitting in a Zoom chat fighting each other, which happened last year.
I know. I was kind of curious when I saw the preview that they were each going to debut a music video, and some of those I knew it was like, oh gosh, Tina Burners is going to be all red, yellow, and orange. It was just not cute. And then I knew Utica was going to have something weird. Ironically, my favorite video was Joey J's with the NSYNC,
the Lance Bass cameo, the whole
even the concept though was interesting. Like Joey J dressed up so many characters, and he dressed up as members of NSYNC. I was pleased with that.
Yeah. I think Julie turned to me and was like, she is a high production queen. Oh my God.
Yeah. I think it actually might've been the best produced video as well. Yeah.
It was hilarious. Oh my God.
It was so good. What did you think about the Zoom lip sync for Your Legacy between Denali and Lala Ree? Because technically, I don't know if you realize this, they lip sang against each other in the first episode. That was in the lip sync tournament. It was Denali versus Lala, and no offense to Lala Ree, I like her, but Denali turned it out on skates the first time and she lost, and I was like, what?
Right?
What's going on here?
I was surprised about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they have their own separate flavors, but that Denali still was the winner.
Yeah.
The victor? Yeah. Lala Ree
Go ahead.
is sorry. Lala Ree is totally like a video hoe.
Yeah. I love her personality, but I was I was first of all shocked when she beat Denali in that first episode. And then for Rue to put them up against each other again last night, I was like, oh my God, Denali, no offense, better not win this. Because Lala Ree better not win this, because Denali turns it out. Denali's a sick lip syncer.
I thought they were gonna pull out and she'd have skates on. But she didn't.
What do you think, out of all those queens that were eliminated, who do you think is most likely to come back for All Stars?
Joey J.
Oh.
Utica.
You think Utica?
And then I know that I thought about this last night while I was watching too. And I was like, ooh, remember that just in case you talk about it. Oh, who. I don't think it'll be Olivia Lux.
Yeah, strangely, I don't see more coming from Olivia.
She's cute, but I don't think she's totally there experience-wise.
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah, someone like Tina Burner is too far gone experience-wise. It's like, girl, you got way too much skin in the game. You barely need RuPaul's Drag Race. You shouldn't need RuPaul's Drag Race at this point. It was like seeing who was that drag queen on UK?
Older?
Oh, Joe Black, yeah.
Oh, Joe. Okay, Joe Black, I found this out. I was shocked. Joe Black looks older. Apparently, Joe Black is 31.
Shut up.
I
am 6 years older than Joe Black.
Yeah. Which, no tea, no shade, but
hard drugs and long nights.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Joe Black's not old, but looks a little haggard.
Wow. Okay.
We still stand though. I mean, do you remember that pirate ship headpiece in the finale? That fascinator, iconic.
Yes.
It was iconic. Love her.
Yeah, and had she not said H&M, I was like, I died because she's the kind of like mortician, like librarian at the morgue that I want to be.
Okay, speaking of H&M, and this is, I swear, my last deviation. Um, I read a very interesting article on Vice this morning about the cost of drag and competing in drag professionally with more of like a lens and a focus on Drag Race. But they're saying
Hmm.
some of these girls have to spend, and they did like rough math for a full season of outfits. So that's like what, 12 runways and plus,
Yeah.
maxi challenges. They're spending upwards of 5,500 American dollars for their outfits. And then it like one of the slides, like I looked through the slides first and then I read the article because I'm responsible. One of the one of the slides was talking about how like a lot of these girls do rely on H&M and ASOS and everything. And sometimes they do have to like just rhinestone the shit out of stuff. And I was like, honestly, I get that. So it's kind of like I feel bad for like people like Joe Black that were like H&M, but it's like really what else are they going to do? Like drag's become so competitive. The cost of living has gone up. Everything is just crazy. So like I don't blame these girls for going to H&M, but also at the same time it does look, a little
Yeah. And like it was like a sewing challenge, I guess. So I can see why they could be picky about it, but
yeah.
um I mean, I love to brag when I find a good off the rack to like incorporate into the ensemble, and it's super cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough call because Drag Race, what, going on 14, 13 seasons now?
This is season 13 of The American. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like where where are they supposed to go now? Like where are they supposed to go to find drag queens out? The moon?
I will tell you what the next logical step is. They are doing International All-Stars,
Mm,
which I'm so
okay.
excited about.
Mhm. Me too. I really have to watch the Thailand because you what did you say it was like 2 seasons
There's two
available of that now?
there's 2 seasons of Thailand. And I don't know how much you keep up with Thai culture, but the judge on Drag Race Thailand, her name is Pangina Heels. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've heard of her. She is incredible as a drag queen. She's a drag queen herself, and she freaking turns it out. To anybody that's interested in Drag Race, go on YouTube and watch Pangina Heels lip sync to Telephone by Lady Gaga. It's wild.
I think my sister is more versed, and I feel like that's a household name for her.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I feel like I've heard her say it because she'll just be talking, like talking. If we had a drag race podcast, which we sort of
We
do,
unofficially
um,
do.
yeah, unofficially, she'd be the one.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good to keep
So
in mind for future hot takes from your sister.
yeah, full volume podcast after dark.
Yes. Ooh, and After Dark.
Yes. Speaking of, welcome. Hello and welcome to the Full Volume Podcast. I am your host, G.I.Jolie, and as always, I'm joined by the other host.
Harvey Brent.
Yeah, and today we're going to be discussing the penultimate episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Last week's episode, we saw the craziest death I've ever seen. Um, it was just like down in the dumps. There was nothing great about that episode, but it was great. One of the greatest episodes, I think. Right? I think you said that it was one of
Last
the
week,
better
yeah.
episodes for sure.
Yes,
Mhm.
last week, yes.
Yeah, and I'll let Brent kind of recap-ish some of the
Ruthless.
events.
Yeah. So, you're gonna put me on the spot there. So the episode actually opens with the fallout of what happened last episode. For those of you that maybe didn't listen to our charming voices last week, Captain America, aka John Walker, went just batshit after Battlestar was killed, chased down one of the super soldiers and killed him in full view of all civilians in town square of Riga. I think they're still in Riga at that point.
Yes.
Um, so, and that last imagery was the shield tainted in blood. And then we pick up right from there where, John Walker is, intercepted almost immediately by Falcon and Winter Soldier, and a fight breaks out. And it was a pretty cool fight scene, actually. It was, again, a lot of these in Falcon and Winter Soldier, a lot of these battles are a lot more physical and a lot less fantastical and supernatural based. Obviously, of course, there's super soldiers, so they're strong, but it's a lot more fists and hands, So it was a cool fight scene. Sam gets his wings ripped off. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And then
I was like, Sam, fuck him up.
I know. Well, they kind of do. They break his arm. I think they like break it backwards, which I was like, oucha magoucha. And then and then they end up seizing Captain America's shield, which like, thank God. So that's the opening. That's the pretense going into this episode. Can I remember the exact order of things that have happened throughout the rest of the episode? No, but I can paint it to you in broad strokes.
Okay.
So I mean,
start with blue.
The blue. I think the main. I mean, again, these scenes are interspersed throughout the episode, but this episode in particular, what I liked about this one, I'm not saying I like the episode, but what I liked about this episode is the conversations had between Sam and Isaiah Bradley, aka the first ever unofficial Captain America who was black. And so I really, that kind of came full circle to me this week about how, like, he should not want to take up the mantle of Captain America. And it was hinted at either in the last episode or the episode before, how, Captain America at its current incarnation, aka white male, does not represent half of America, right? So Isaiah is telling Sam, you shouldn't want to be Captain America because Captain America, is a form of the establishment, and the establishment is not for black people. I love that. That was a great, scene. It really drove home, the merits behind being Captain America. And I think actually Bucky had a fun little, it wasn't the same scene. It was either before or after this interaction with Isaiah Bradley in Baltimore. But Bucky also had a quick blip about apologizing to Sam about, like, I didn't really think about the implications of you being Captain America. I'm sorry. Like, he just didn't, it was a matter of illuminating perspective for Bucky, which I thought was very cool as well. So
yeah.
Yeah, and that is about, I would say that's all that I liked about this episode. Also, the amazing cameo we had from Seinfeld's own Julia Louis-Dreyfus. But this episode, I mean, if you want to, I don't know, do you want to tease it apart, like scene by scene, or do you just want to talk it out? Like,
We can just talk it out too. Like, honestly, this one's probably going to be like one of the shorty shorts, so that's fine. Because I agree, it wasn't one of the best episodes, but it was definitely like, it was your Two Towers, what I like to call your Two Towers episode, where there's no real beginning because it takes place in the height of action, and there's no real end because, it leads into something else. So I really, just going off the really brief plot summary that you did, I really like what they did with Bucky's character, because I feel like they are giving us more of Sam's character and Bucky in a way that we've been craving for the last like 4 episodes. They gave us one scene where you can see actual chemistry. And I remember Jeff had mentioned that there wasn't any chemistry that he could pinpoint between the two characters. But that boat scene where he's like, "Don't you flirt with my sister," and they're like drinking, I thought they were drinking White Claw. They're drinking Heineken or whatever. But like, they're drinking beers together, and like, he accidentally flirts with Sam's sister because he's just so charming. He's like the perfect 1940s male.
He's a babe.
Right?
He's a babe. There's no way around it.
No, he just can't help it. I like that they had that conversation because or that he had that conversation with Sam, and he acknowledged that he's still kind of catching up to what the real America looks like, and how his privilege and what his privilege looks like, and his role in in this sort of world. Because it seems like he's still kind of after being sort of half deprogrammed, 95% deprogrammed, he's still kind of like looking for significance. And he really misses, I think Steve Rogers was that complete picture for him. And with Steve gone, he was kind of trying to pawn that off on Falcon. And Falcon wasn't being receptive. And he just couldn't understand why you wouldn't want to represent your country. And they gave us very good reasons. What else happened in the episode? John Walker. There's this that right before Julia Louis-Dreyfus's cameo. Which, how did they keep that a secret? My God.
I know. Apparently, she was supposed to appear first in Black Widow, which is shocking. But I mean, also Black Widow's been delayed like 1,300,820 times. So this wasn't supposed to be her first appearance.
No, true. So he has a military trial where they strip him of the title. Did they dishonorably discharge him?
They said there was a discharge with they didn't say dishonorable, but there was something about like with it was like a general discharge or something.
Yeah, they're like, you're discharged and it's anything but honorable.
Something like that. Yeah, it had some weird wording to it, and I was like, I don't speak alpha male military. I don't know what that means.
No, me neither. I don't speak swing my dick around. What? Boats?
Who said that?
Airplane. Maybe I do sort of can identify the words. I also, again, I can see from his perspective, right? Everyone's like, he's like, are you just going to discount? I felt kind of bad for him for a second. He was like, are you going to discount all of the things I did for this country, even after this? And it's like, but I don't think you get it. You killed somebody on foreign soil, and like, it's on 1 million world stars. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, you're getting off easy. Like, you're lucky we're not throwing. You're lucky that the UN Security Council isn't calling for your head on a stick. And then what was really funny was like, Enya, we're gonna need you to return Captain America's shield ASAP, please.
Yeah, he did say
like the American government owns it.
Well, that's very interesting because right after that scene, Julia Louis-Dreyfus comes up as Valentina. I know that. Contessa de Fontaine.
Allegra.
Damn it. Yes. And
sounds like a drag queen.
It actually does sound like a drag queen. I was thinking that, I'm like, I'm going to remember this because of the drag queen Valentina. That's how I remembered it in my head. But that was a really interesting scene. First thing I noticed is if she is truly going to be set up to be a bigger part of the MCU going forward, I am 1,000,000% behind that. Between her and Catherine Hahn just chewing scenery, because make no mistake, she chewed up that entire scene she was in.
Yeah.
She bit into that like a Big Mac. Just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Vanity Fair wrote about her appearance.
Yeah, I saw that too, actually. Yeah.
So like, okay.
It was fantastic. Just like the level of confidence and like she rules her own world, this character. And I love it. We love seeing strong women. We don't know. I assume she has villainous tendencies because she's interested in, someone with the moral character of John Walker. But I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
So just a little smidge in the background. Apparently she is an agent of Leviathan. And this is as far as my knowledge goes, which is sort of, I don't want to say sort of like Hydra because we will get chewed out, but they're not the good guys.
No.
She is convinced by Nick Fury, who she meets, and I'm not sure when in the comics continuity this is, but she is convinced to join S.H.I.E.L.D. by Nick Fury, and she uses it as an opportunity to spy on the good guys for Leviathan.
Hmm.
She ends up, though, kind of dating Steve, who at the time is dating Sharon Carter. Um, so yeah, there's like some love triangles going on, but at the same time as well, Nick Fury likes her too.
I was gonna
So
say, didn't she and Nick Fury also date?
yes.
Hmm.
So I guess there was like it all came to a head at one point, and like Nick made her choose. She chose Nick, obviously,
Obvi.
because I don't know. I mean, like anyway, I would have chosen Nick Fury. Steve Rogers is like cool, blonde, blue eyes, but like
But like,
not for me.
definitely only does missionary. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yeah,
a little
yeah, and
vanilla.
like, and I just don't imagine those hips move out of joint. Anyway,
Mm-mm.
like a
Mm-mm.
Ken doll.
Yeah, that's a spot on representation of how he probably moves
Mhm.
when it matters. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah,
Sorry, I had snap back to reality. Okay, so
Valentina, she's been around for a while too. Like I think I was reading that she um, unofficially premiered either 67 or 69, but then they brought her in more or less come 1972, and she's been like a consistent, albeit minor presence throughout a lot of Marvel comics since then.
yes, yes, she debuted in
Is
19 Strange Tales number 159, created by did I see somewhere? Yeah, that she was created by Jim Steranko. That's
mm,
crazy in the 60s, 1967. So 70s is correct.
yes. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, lately, I think she definitely is supposed to be coming into the plot right around Black Widow. We don't know what that looks like yet, though, unfortunately.
Oh, when's that
Because
come out?
whenever
May?
uh 4 years from now, 10 years from now, 21 years from now, I think they're gonna release it on the anniversary, the 25th anniversary of my death.
Oh, it's gonna be a
Yeah,
while. Yeah.
that's gonna be we got a second.
Okay. Well, hang tight.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to find out, or I read somewhere that she's part of this other group of women led by Sharon Carter. I think they're called like the Femme, so stupid, the Femme Fatales or something. It's like a women only powerhouse group created by Shield. It's like probably sometime in the 90s. I can
Mm.
only imagine. I would be not honestly surprised if it was early 2000s. Really not shocked if it was in the 80s, but I would be flabbergasted if it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Because that's like a weird thing. Like women can't be in a super group unless they're with other women. And Sharon Carter's the leader. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't, this is the first I'm hearing of this group. So I feel that I don't have much to,
Mhm.
to,
But I am like you, sorry, very excited for her to be in this universe.
oh my God, so excited. If she like, I mean, again, I don't know the magnitude of how much they're going to use her going forward. If she really is like the anti Nick Fury, recruiting all these morally questionable dirtbags like John Walker, I'm here for it. I would love for
Mhm.
her to be like a consistent connective tissue through a lot of these Marvel movies, but on the villain side. That would be magnifique.
Yes. And then the chef's kiss of that group would be Super Soldier Carly,
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
right? Who is busy in the middle of in the middle of a park full of children acquiring bombs,
Something of the
explosives.
sort that she got from George St. Pierre from our native land,
Wait,
from Canada. Isn't he?
like the
He's French
MMA
Canadian.
fighter?
Yeah, that's who plays not Dovich. Who's the name of the guy? He's in the first episode and he's back this episode. Oh my gosh. Sharon Carter was on the phone with him and he was yelling at her in
Ooh,
French.
that's it. He is definitely from Montreal.
He is. I knew he was French Canadian. Yeah.
Oh wow.
We stan
Oh yeah.
French
Oh,
Canadian.
that's why I was like, you know what? That's why I recognize his face.
Yeah, he
All
was
those like sitting at the bar. There he is on the TV.
there while we're at the Walkerville Tavern having a pint.
Obviously, like what, 20 years ago? Yeah.
That's what it feels like. But no, so yeah, he's in the scene, and he's yeah, like I said, he was in the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then he was also, I think, in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Was he not? I think he was in the
Hmm.
opening to that. This isn't his first time in the MCU.
Okay.
Where
Oh,
were we? Oh,
we
yeah.
were just at George St. Pierre, who's talking to the power broker. I'm just gonna, this is the third time we've said it. Brent called it. Sharon Carter is the power broker. I'm just gonna refer to her by her Christian name now.
PB. Power broker.
Mhm. Yep.
She yeah, well, I don't know now. I'm actually, my confidence has decreased a little bit this episode because it's been so obvious. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like they want you now to think after this episode, because yeah, she was talking to George St. Pierre on the phone. It's pretty much a given at this point that she's the one that set up Carly with what Carly needed. So I think if Sharon Carter is not the power broker, she is working with the power broker, who could be possibly Valentina.
Oh.
That's, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, it was weird the way they wrote it this episode. Like, it was very obvious. I was like, that's not much of a twist, surprise, reveal. So
No.
yeah, I don't know which way they're gonna go with that.
Um, I know that Leviathan, sorry, somewhere in her history, um, Victor Von Doom comes up. And I know that they've
Yes,
been to Latveria, Latvia,
they've been to Latvia.
Latvia.
Yeah,
I feel like Marvel's just gonna be like, Latveria doesn't exist. It's Latvia.
it's possible. We'll see what they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? Oh, also, we get the biggest, best montage. Like, it's the one I've been waiting for it. And it's the one that makes me ashamed and unafraid to be totally straight. We got the Anthony Mackie superist soldier
Workout
training montage.
montage. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, it was incredible, and like I'm gonna go watch it like 5 times. Um,
Yeah.
but I do have a problem with it. My problem
Oh.
is before the montage scene, there is a scene of Bucky and Sam throwing the shield, and Sam seemed to be a lot more competent in catching it. But then came the training montage, and he was struggling, and I was like, these seem out of order a bit. Like it was just his competencies were out of order. So love the scene. Don't get me wrong. It just felt weirdly
Mhm.
out of place.
Even when they were talking, it felt like they filmed that. I remember seeing parts of that in the trailer. I was like, did they film this like first
Yeah.
and then get back to it? Because it also felt the dialogue, the acting felt stilted.
Mm.
So,
That's actually, and you know what? There's something about this episode. I kind of started the episode by saying there's stuff I like the racial acknowledgement of the responsibility of Captain America. But there's actually a
mhm,
lot about this episode that was not cute. I didn't, it just, the episode like completely took its foot off the gas pedal. And
mhm.
it's not like anything was poorly written. I'm just like, how do you expect in one more remaining episode to bring us a satisfying conclusion? What's the end game here? Are you really going to tie up Carly Super Soldier, the Power Broker, both their plots? I guess by the end of this episode, Sam has agreed to take on the mantle of Captain America with a suit from Wakanda. So I guess they tied that up. But like, what about Bucky's baggage? From the beginning of this season, there's a lot that I just don't have the confidence that they're going to be able to properly tie up at the end of next episode.
Yeah. Oh, I'm worried about it too. I mean, this episode was like an hour
It was
long. I
long.
woke up. Yeah, I like, how sometimes in the morning you wake up and it's like 6:30 a.m. and you can't get back to sleep. It's like, oh, it's Friday. The
Hmm.
cat's snoring beside me. I know. I'll watch I'll watch today's episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Of course. What else?
Right? Speaking of Baron Dreamo,
Mhm.
he gets taken away by
By the Dorj
Cordelaney.
Malahe?
That's it. Uh,
Sorry,
d-
I don't know if I pronounced that right. Dora or Dorj Malahe?
I can never pronounce anything
I'm
that's
embarrassed.
Dora Milaje.
I think it's Dora Milaje.
Yes. Do you know what? I feel like the English pronunciation and the way that they pronounced it. That do you know what? I honestly couldn't remember until you said Dora Milaje. I was like, that's how they say it.
That's gonna bother me. I want to be respect. It's Dora Milaje. Yes.
Okay.
I think they skip by the A really fast, like, and so it kind of sounds like Dor Milaje, but it's Dora.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Here they come.
Here they come, taking away Zemo, taking him to the raft. Which, like, I said this last episode. I think I said to her, I was like, I would not be surprised if Zemo didn't show up again. He did show up this episode, but the sentiment of what I had stayed the same from last week, which is I felt like they couldn't do anything more with him, and I think this scene was kind of proof of that because they wrote him out like they were just like, okay, you were just basically a plot device to get us to, Madripoor, and the Dora Milaje want you because you killed Black Panther apparently. So I was not satisfied.
No, and I don't know how they're going to fix that. Or whether, I think that you said you're like, you know what, they probably won't for a while, and I tend to agree. Until Black Panther 2 comes around, maybe they've already started working on rewriting the script for that to incorporate our beloved Baron. I love it, though. I mean, he wore full fur and leather, and Africa is hot.
Yeah.
Parts of Africa.
Yeah, not all parts.
Yeah, I don't know what part of how close they are to the equator there in Wakanda, but
yeah, I can't remember exactly where it is on an actual map. I remember seeing it once, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, there's just, I don't know, like this week, like it's just, I felt like last week I said a lot of things were coming together. A lot of these threads were synthesizing. And then this week I felt like everything was separate again. And I was like, okay, John Walker's doing this. Carly's Super Soldier's doing this. Sharon Power Broker has 30 seconds of screen time and she's doing this. Like it was just very everywhere. So I don't know. I'm not that impressed with this episode. But I like, there's individual stories I'm like really invested in. Like this heel turn by John Walker it's getting delicious. There was a post-credit scene this week where he's making his own Captain America shield because, he got his ass whooped by Sam and Bucky and lost it. So he's making his own. I love that. I think we're going to see him turn into U.S. agent.
Yes. He took one gigantic heel turn into Crazy Town. He's taken all of the medals off of his uniform and is currently affixing them to his shield like trophies.
Jeez, it looked like one of those like toy like sheriff's deputy stars that he like welded onto his shield. You're like, I'm a big boy, but or like I'm a big boy sheriff. So I'm very very excited to see his runway look next week, as they say.
Yes. Okay, well, I mean, oh god, it's gonna, I feel like it's gonna wrap up kind of poorly, but
I mean, who knows? Like, I don't want to be like too like poo-poo on it because I haven't seen it yet. I'm just saying the way the trajectory it went from after this episode, I'm like, ooh, you're gonna have a hard time sticking this landing.
Yeah, guys. Unless they stick that landing with Sam dressed as Captain America and kicking everyone's ass, and that's pretty much gonna be it.
That's gonna definitely happen. Because like the very last main scene we saw this week was him opening that box from Wakanda. We're led to believe it is a new Captain America suit. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how this goes down.
Yeah. So if you, dear listeners, watchers, whoever you are out there, if you have theories or comments about how you think it's going to go down, send us an email at fullvolumepod@gmail.com. We're also available all of our episodes from every past Sunday are available online at www.comicbooksyndicate.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at Comic Syndicate and at Comic Book Syndicate, #fullvolumepod. As always, I have been your host. Sorry, I just had to breathe out really
That was
deeply.
a lot.
I realized not only is it the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's also the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race. So
Emotional.
hold on to your tits. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I'm emotional. Okay. I've been your host, G.I.Jolie.
I've been Harvey Brent. I've always been. Just always.
All two faces of him.
Both.
And as always, you can keep it. Wait, oh my god. Keep it loud.
Keep it at full volume.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.